Nammo Phat. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today for our daily practice check-in for April 10th, 2020. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. Today we're reciting the fifth wonderful precept. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I am aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. Today we're finishing Chapter 1 of Ajahn Sucitto's Kamma and the End of Kamma. It's always possible. The most significant realization that comes from a 5 or 10 minute break from aspects of being and becoming is that things stop for themselves. This isn't to say that a few minutes of just chilling out is the end of Kamma and the dawning of ultimate truth, but it does show us the mind can have a different direction from zigzagging forwards or backwards. The mind can open, and in that opening the whole scenario changes. Mental awareness is experienced as a field within which thoughts, moods, and sensations come and go, and we can witness rather than act upon that mental content. Furthermore, a good amount of mental content just whirs to a halt when there isn't the view that one has to do or fix or even stop, and there isn't the buzzy, urgent self keeping it going. This, in a nutshell, is a description of how the Kamma of cultivation leads to the end of Kamma. But it's a subtle process to undertake. Thoughts and moods don't stop through trying to make them go away. That trying is more volition, more Kamma. They stop when the identification program, the basis of becoming, is not switched on. This is worth remembering because when one considers the complexity of the feedback loops of cause and effect, it's easy to imagine that a very complex process of unwinding would be needed. But a glimpse at how ceasing happens, through not supporting the view and energy of identification, shows us that the way out of dis-ease and stress is direct and simple. And that encourages us to set up occasions wherein we can take non-identification into deeper levels of our psychological activity. This is through the ongoing process of meditation. But we all need to and can back that up in our daily life. We don't have to drink the water we're swimming through. To not drink in the ocean of samsara means checking and restraining the pull of the senses, checking and putting aside the programs of the mainstream, and cultivating full attention and awareness. In other words, it's a whole life path, the Eightfold Path, and that proceeds from right view and right aim, not from views of self, fate, or through automatic systems and techniques. Through following it, you realize that you're not as embedded in samsara as it might seem. For a start, you never actually become anything for very long. Sure, you seem to go through periods of agitation and tension, but with practice there are periods of joy and humor. And as you get more skilled in attending to the mind, the habit of holding on to particular states loosens up. You find yourself identifying with this or that state less and less, and that reduces the stress and turmoil. Seen like this, human life is a great opportunity. Regardless of the effects that we inherit, we can always act skillfully and cultivate the mind. We can always move towards goodness, happiness, and liberation. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a very pleasant weekend, and I'll be back with you again on Monday.